Hold on. City Commission reorganization meeting is now called to order. The Delta County Board of Canvassers has certified the November 3rd, 2015 general election, and the following are named as city commissioners for terms expiring November 1st, 2019. Mike O'Connor and David A. Phelan. I now ask that the two newly elected commissioners please stand and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of City Commissioner
the duties of City Commissioner
in and for
and for
the City of Gladstone,
the City of Gladstone,
County of Delta,
County of Delta,
and the State of Michigan,
and the State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. The floor is now I'm sorry. The floor is now open for nominations for the office of mayor.
I'd like to nominate Jay Boswick.
Support.
There's been a motion by Commissioner View, supported by Commissioner Thompson, for Jay Bostwick as mayor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I ask that Commissioner Bostwick please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of mayor
the duties of mayor
in and for
in and for
the City of Gladstone,
City of Gladstone,
County of Delta,
County of Delta,
and the State of
and
Michigan,
the State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. The floor is now open for nominations for the office of Mayor Pro Tem.
I nominate Commissioner Thompson.
I'll support.
There's been a motion by Commissioner Bostwick, supported by Commissioner Phelan, to nominate Joe Thompson for the office of Mayor Pro Tem. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Commissioner Thompson, please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of Mayor Pro Tem
the duties of Mayor Pro Tem
in and for
in and for
the City of
the City
Gladstone,
of Gladstone,
County of Delta,
County of Delta,
and the State of
and
Michigan,
the State of Michigan,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. This concludes the reorganization meeting. I would now like to obtain each of your signatures in the oath book and present the gavel to Mayor Bostwick for further proceedings. You can hand it right down to Joe, if you can sign right there. Yep. Right up top.
Okay, thank you. All right, I call the regular meeting of November 9th to order. First up is the invocation and pledge of allegiance, and I'll lead that tonight. Lord of all creation, we come today to honor you and to remind ourselves of your pivotal place in our lives. We ask for your blessings on this meeting. We ask that your wisdom will guide us as we seek to accomplish the goals on today's agenda. Thank you for the opportunities you give us to serve you and to serve others. May our actions and our attitudes please you this day. We pray these in your mighty name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call.
Mayor Mossberg.
Here.
Commissioner O'Connor.
Here.
Commissioner Phelan.
Here.
Commissioner Thompson.
Here.
Commissioner View.
Here.
All right. First up would be the consent agenda. Oh, sorry, public comment, sorry. Sorry about that. Anyone have anything they would like to discuss?
This is probably random, but something that I've observed, and I thought since I'm here, just take the opportunity to address it. If it's possible to pursue a low-cost solution to a restroom in Van Cleve Park, since that park is readily utilized throughout the year, not just after the water's turned off, but I've observed people using it for various types of recreation, and portable porta-john that's low cost, that would be emptied in 3 to 6 months might be a wise idea. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? All right, first up would be the consent agenda for the regular meeting minutes of October 26th, the DDA of October 20th, and payment of bills.
I move to approve the consent agenda as read.
Support.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner View and support by Commissioner Thompson. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. First up, under unfinished business, is sale of land ball field parcel.
Okay, I tried to put a little bit of history in the staff report here. We've been working on this parcel for quite a few months. We originally contacted Director Keith Craig from the DNR. We did get a response from him. He kind of thought that he needed to wait for the legislature to make some decisions regarding a public land strategy. So I called a couple other people that I knew from the DNR, and Stacy Hoy from Marquette referred me to Tom Graff, which he's from Lansing DEQ Division. And according to Tom's interpretation, the city can acquire this property. The city would have to acquire this property if we wanted to have it available for development. Right now, we have it, we have a public use deed on it, and as long as it's used for municipal purposes, we're good to go. If we want to sell a portion of it for development, the city would have to purchase that portion. We would have a survey done. The original parcel is 30 acres, and there's a process that we would have to go through. You know, the city commission would have to pass a resolution. We'd have to get a survey of the property. We'd do a public notice, of course, and then the state would hire an appraiser to come in and appraise the property, and the city's fee would be 30% of the appraised property. And then that portion, you know, can be sold or developed or whatever the commission chooses. So I think that's the answer we've been waiting for on this parcel. I think the options that we have, this parcel we've never had a public hearing on, where we did have a public hearing on a couple of the other parcels that we were considering for development on the water. We could simply add this parcel to our city property available for sale, and then, you know, knowing if a developer came to us, that we would have to go through this process. Or we could leave it alone as it is, you know, currently used for recreational purposes.
I'd like to move that we just leave it alone.
Leave it alone?
Leave it as it is.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Thompson and second by Commissioner Phelan to leave as is. Any more discussion?
Yeah, the only comment I have on it, and I agree with what they're saying, you know, because it costs money to go through this whole process. And until we get somebody that says, hey, here's what I want to do with it, then we can bring it
Right.
forward and do something with. So right now, just as a cost-saving measure, I wholeheartedly support it.
I also support it. Don't think we should do anything with it. Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor of leaving the lease as is, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next is the reappointment to the Planning Commission, Mr. Elger Strum, Mr. Jack Sepik, and Mr. Brad Mantella.
I move that we make the reappointments to the Planning Commission.
Support?
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Thompson, support by Commissioner View for the three, Elger Strum, Jack Sepik, and Brad Mantella to stay on the Planning Commission for another 3 years. Any discussion?
Yeah, can we have some idea how long they've been serving the city of Gladstone? Each of them, do we have, I mean, I don't want to put,
I don't have it right now, but I could get that to you.
I mean,
guys.
somebody's been on there a long time.
Yes.
So, and I just want to thank them for stepping up again and doing it again, but it's,
Sure, I'll get you that information.
okay.
All
You
right.
did
Oh,
say
sorry.
earlier, though, that Jack would like to step down, he just doesn't want to leave us hanging.
Right, right. Jack has voiced his concern, you know, if there's somebody else willing to serve on the planning commission, he would step aside, but instead of not filling his seat and, you know, possibly leaving us without a quorum or something, he will continue until somebody else is interested. We did recently, probably 3-4 weeks ago, have an ad in the Action Shopper. We do have openings on other boards, so please, if anybody's interested in filling a seat on the boards, our application's on the website. You can come to City Hall, get it. Definitely, we can make other appointments.
All right, all those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the appointment of the Planning Commission, Mr. Dave Nemechek.
I move to accept Dave Nemechek's wanting to serve on the planning commission. Ex-city commissioner, ready to step up in another capacity. I think it's real good.
I'll support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Ryu, support by Commissioner Thompson to appoint Mr. Dave Nemechek. Any more discussion?
Is that board filled now? With everyone we have now?
Right, due
Okay.
to Naomi Holt's passing, Dave Nemechek would be filling her current seat. And that term would expire October 1st, 2017. So there is a full board right now.
Okay, that's good.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. All right, next is the old-fashioned Christmas.
This is our annual old-fashioned Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving, Friday night, November 27th. We light our Christmas tree in the lot here next to City Hall. Santa comes in, he's available in City Hall for photos. We have face painting going on. There's a carnival down at the American Legion. There's a take and make project at the DDA building. Whole host of activities to do on Delta Avenue and throughout town on Friday evening, November 27th. And we would like to get permission from the commission to close this side street here next to City Hall. There's a lot of, when we light the tree, there's a lot of kids and people, you know, crossing this street here. Passed it by Director Geyer, he has no problem with that. We normally do that, just for safety. So,
I move that,
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I move that we approve the closure of North 11th Street for the old-fashioned Christmas.
I'll support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Thompson, support by Commissioner Phelan to close North 11th for the old-fashioned Christmas. Any more discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the set a workshop to discuss fund accountant and MERS.
With the addition of the new commissioners and the budget process coming up, I thought it would be best at this time if we could set a workshop to discuss just what each fund, the requirements of each fund. We do need to keep MERS, at the forefront here as we plan for the future, so I have some new numbers from the MERS board. And then I also would like to add to that tonight, with the results of the bond vote last Tuesday, I think we do still need to prioritize some of the projects, for City Hall, allocate some money for replacing some of our aging fleet, and then what's the plan for Public Works. Definitely, I would have, all the people involved in those decisions at the table with us for that. Let's kind of talk through what the plan is to get us through that. So I didn't really have any dates in mind. I was hoping just everybody could,
First off, a workshop involves all the commissioners and all
Yes.
the department heads and
It-
the public? No?
yep, all of our meetings are open to the public.
Okay. So, and how much time are we gonna allocate for this, or, I mean, other ones
Whatever you would,
No, I mean, how long has it taken before? Are we at something that might be longer, or because of some
I
of
would
the-
say probably 2 hours would be sufficient. It's just to, we don't need to solve all the problems, at this, I just think we need to start discussing,
Is this more
You know-
informational?
yep, what do you want staff and I to be working on, regarding the MERS payment, the bond, we can reprioritize internally, but, with the bond, we haven't had the necessary funds to tackle these in the past. That's why we went and asked the public if they would support a millage for that. I just think we need to have some discussion on these
Do we
items.
have two sessions coming up, committee meetings coming up now, committee of the whole coming
Yep.
up? What dates are them?
Those were specifically for the purchasing policy.
No, I'm trying to figure out a date that
Oh,
we can
sure.
do this in between that or something.
Right.
Plus, I don't know if the new commissioners know what the,
No, it's just,
November 23rd, if I can. November 23rd from 5 to 7, you were going to discuss the cell phone policy.
okay, cell
And then at
phone,
7 o'clock is the regular commission meeting.
5 to 7.
And then in December,
And that's a committee of the whole there, which
Right.
is, which includes all the commissioners and who else?
Whoever wants to attend from the public.
Okay.
and then
Wasn't the city manager?
City manager? too,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
December 14th from 6 to 7 is the purchasing and bidding policy. And then at 7 o'clock, the regular commission meeting.
December 14th, that is?
Yep. And then December 28th is the regular city commission at 7.
Would the first week of December be too late? We want to try to do it sooner, like maybe the day after we have something on December 1st?
How about November 15th? No one from the public will be here. Just
I don't know
kidding.
if there'll be many of us up here either.
I'll grow this beard for nothing.
Well, Darla, December 1st, is that too late, or do you need
No.
something sooner?
No, I think December 1st would be fine.
What day is that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Don't we have something coming up, learning thing?
December 7th.
I'm
that's the
proposing
7th?
the next agenda, or agenda item, December 7th for elected officials training, which would be here.
So December 1st should work. Yeah.
What time?
You want to have it on Tuesday or Monday?
November 30th?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because most of these are on Mondays.
30th is the last day of deer season.
I stand corrected, it appears my calendar is in error. December 1st would be the soonest possible date available.
December 1st, 5 to 7, good, or 4 to 6?
5, 7 works for me.
5 to 7?
7's fine.
December 1st, 5 to 7. Okay.
Do we have to have a motion for this?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Joe.
I move that we set a workshop for December 1st from 5 to 7 to discuss fund accounting and MERS.
And the bond?
And the bond.
And the bond?
And
She
the bond,
asked.
or no?
Sure.
Yes, let's include the bond.
I'll support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Thompson, support by Commissioner View to set a workshop for December 1st from 5 to 7 to discuss fund account and MERS and the bond. All those in favor, or any more discussions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next up is set elected officials academy training for Monday, December 7th.
The Michigan Municipal League, also referred to as MML, they have a training session for newly elected officials called Elected Officials Training. They have some throughout the state that they say, but they're all in Lower Michigan. So I made some calls prior to the election to see if they could have one in the Upper Peninsula or more specifically in Gladstone. And they do have a local representative that lives in the UP from MML that is willing to come here to Gladstone. He can come December 7th. The time is a little bit flexible, but December 7th, he could come to do that. So I was proposing from Monday, December 7th from 4 to 7 here at City Hall for that training. The time is workable, the date a little bit not so much.
That's fine with me, that works.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did we want to stick with the time of, what do you got, 4 to 7?
I just threw that out there. It's a 3-hour training. You know, I didn't
It works
really
for
know
me.
everybody's schedules yet, so.
It works for me.
We haven't
can-
been to anything like that yet, eh?
You haven't been to an MML one. MSU Extension did.
That's what I was
great-
trying to see what,
Right. I like the MML one. I've seen them. It's been several years now. We had somebody come to here, but that's been a long time ago now. So it's a really good training, or at least it had been in the past. I don't know the trainer yet of who it is, but it would be really beneficial. But we can adjust. I mean, if you wanted to go earlier than that, it just seems like 7 o'clock after that might start.
I like 4 to 7.
Yeah, that works really well for me.
I need a motion
Okay.
support for that.
Need a motion support.
well, I'll move that we, let's see what it says here. Have had the officials academy training for Monday, December 7th, 2015, starting at 4 o'clock to 7.
I support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner View, support by Commissioner Phelan for the elected officials academy training for Monday, December 7th. Any more discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next. Did you want to move the executive session to the end?
That's typically what we do. If you want to go through manager comments and the rest of the agenda and then come back to that.
Okay.
Do we need to amend them?
Do we need to amend it again?
Should in the beginning, but the mayor has the right to adjust.
Okay.
Adjust it.
All right, we're going to move it to after the city clerk comments. All right, next is city manager's report.
Just a couple comments here. We've got DDA meeting tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock at the DDA building. EDC, there's no EDC meeting tomorrow. Just like to welcome Commissioner Phelan and Commissioner O'Connor, and I look forward to the upcoming planning meetings that we have scheduled and go from there. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anyone have any city commission and committee report, board and commission reports? All right, next up is public comment.
Actually, I have 3. I understand I've only got 2 or 3 minutes. Is that
Oh,
correct?
sorry, can you state your name and address
Yes, Gary
first?
Wykoff, 36 Royal Oak Drive, Gladstone. I've been missing from this for a bit. And I saw this request for bids in the Action Shopper this week for a restroom concession, apparently up in the sports park. A little surprised, a little disappointed. And I went back and looked at the 2014-2015 budget and the what was spent on supplies and what the actual revenue was for that. I'm trying to get a sense of what we were going to gain by spending more money on a concession stand. The supplies, the actual supplies for the beach concession, I guess we're talking sports for this one?
Sports park.
All right. Well, the supplies for the sports at that point were $9,050, and the actual revenue was $12,098. So we made about $3,000 on that, but I don't believe that included any labor, heat, water, lights, any of this. So I'm looking at this and saying maybe it's a break-even job, or maybe we better start spending or getting more money from what we're selling on these concessions. But I don't know what the size of this concession stand is going to be, plus restrooms. I'm a little concerned that given we just passed or didn't pass a millage, and we're back already looking to spend more money on infrastructure up there. So just my concern. And the other one that is constant, this ski hill, I thought we maybe had put that horse down, but we apparently haven't. I went back again and used the data that was passed out at a meeting, and I believe it was in May. We've lost $129,000 up there over the past 3 years for an average of $43,208. I'm beginning to wonder what's going on. I understand we're going to put $40,000 up there from Bessie. Is that correct? Beginning to wonder, when are we going to pull back and start addressing some of the issues in terms of costs in this town? I mean, we can't seem to get past some of these small things and get on with the bigger ones. And then the third thing is, if I recall correctly, the general fund revenue was based on 15.5021 mills, and the millage did not pass, which means I believe that we have to step back and pull out of the budget 1.8236 mills, which is $177,220. If that's correct, I'd like to have some accounting of where and how we're going to pull $177,000 out of this current fiscal year budget. So I'm just trying to understand. I mean, we are faced with serious financial problems, and I believe that the millage vote was overwhelming that we're not going to address this through the spending side, which I think calls for some real attention on how we're going to cut, where we're going to cut, how we're going to address this. We are, and I guess the looking at things like building new concession stands.
All right, thank you.
Time up?
Yep.
All right.
All right, next up.
My name is Ken Levine. I live at 2722 South Hill Road, Gladstone. To the two new commissioners, good luck. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Now I hope that the commission can work and straighten out some of these things that are going on that isn't supposed to be going on. Up at the compost this week, Thursday through Sunday, 34 people come in here. That's a loss of $1,360. Now, it's going to get worse as the closer, more leaves coming up, more than that. It's probably going to cost us out of our income about $2,000 or $3,000 that we could have had if the people would have bought their stickers. You had 18 people from Branton Township, 40 stickers from Escanaba Township, 5 from Masonville, 1 from Harris, I think it was. Total stickers, I think, was 71. Now, something tells you right there something ain't right, because if people are coming in there using it and they don't have stickers, they didn't buy them to start with. So that's all I got to say about it.
All right, thank you.
It's me again. Richard Juneau, 29th Street, 707. If you want to see some good races, come to 29th Street any day of the week, the weekdays, from 7:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock. I mean, we have drag races going on up there and some very noisy trucks. So I wish something could be done about this. Paul?
Get as many patrols up there as they can.
7:30 till 8. I see the patrols at 9. At 9, all the kids are in the school. All the parents are gone home.
We usually have 2 people on at that point, and one of them is usually going over to court. So I have 1 car available to get into that area. We get it up there as much as we can.
Well, deputize me.
I am gonna be directing some patrols up there to try to have more stationary patrol up there, but
Do you understand my concern? There's
I do.
kids crossing that road. Now, we talked about a crosswalk there.
And we've mentioned that the crosswalk cannot go to a yard. It has to, there's some sidewalk improvements that have to be done in that area.
And we talked about putting a pad there. Now, if you put a pad there, you could put a crosswalk. To me, when I talk to the commission, Darla, and you, it's like, okay, we'll put them off another month or another year. I've been after this for 10 years. That's a long time. We are very fortunate nobody's been killed. Very. Now, I'm sure we could come up with something to get that crosswalk in there and to slow that traffic down. That's residential area, 25. The only thing goes 25, I think, is me. We had a recall, and we replaced 2 people, and nothing changed. Right away, we put a park up there, and we're going to put a concession stand. And that's going to be us, the taxpayers, is going to have to fork out the money for the upkeep. Now, we had election. We got 2 more people on this commission. And I hope they do what's right for the people. Nicole said those chips are only going to cost $1,000 every 2 years. But the city's going to have to put employees up there to check it out, probably spread the chips around. So where's that money coming from? Right out of your pockets. So it's going to be over $1,000. And for the press, my name is Juneau, as in Juneau, Alaska, not Juno. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
Hi there, Wayne Nelson, 582 North 9th Street in Gladstone here. First of all, I want to thank people who had voted for me as I ran for the commission. Congratulations to you guys for getting on there. I'm sure that there's another spot, another board or something that I'll get involved in and try to give some help to everything that we have going on everywhere. I did have one question on the MML testing that you guys are going to be doing. Is that something that somebody may be able to come and observe or participate in? Does anybody know?
Any commission event or function, it's an open meetings. You can come participate.
Okay.
There's a cost to the city for having that under our training, but we're opening it up to our boards, other boards and commissions as well, as a lot of things like Open Meetings Act affects them as well. So since we're having it locally and we're having it in our house, basically, yep, we would open that up. So
Okay. I'll have to check that.
they have a capacity limit. If you get so many people, they recommend having a second session just because some one-on-one discussion gets a little hard at a large thing. But
So
I've never had that
early.
problem, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The couple other things is, one on this concession stand up here. Isn't there a concession stand up there privately run as far as who is running it and selling the items out of the concession stand? As far as I know from baseball, coaching up there, there's a private individual who actually does that. Which, if that being the case, having the the concession stand, is that rented to them? Or how are we making anything off it, period, if we're not actually operating the concession stand? So I'd be kind of curious about that, because I'm under the impression that we don't even run it. The ski hill and the whole losing on a continuous basis, and we're looking at developers for the North Shore. Why couldn't we look at developers for the ski hill? The ski hill does have a lot of potential and things for different interest things, probably more along the lines of tourism, but I'm sure that there'd be somebody who may be interested in doing something with that, whereas it would benefit our community and not have the major expense ourselves of having to try to do something with it. Lots of potential we have in a couple different areas without just having to take and pay for things when we just don't have it. Maybe in the future, when a few other things are able to balance out a little bit better, the economy gets a little bit better, which we're all hoping for, I'm sure, then, we'll see what happens then. But that's always a possibility that could be looked at. And other than that, I'm just going to see what else we have that's available, see where else I might be able to help out with the community. And if anybody has any ideas or something like that, something that could be used in the area, can always find me kitty corner of the Crest Oil over here, usually many times at night, but I'm usually
All right,
around
thank
over
you.
there. Okay, thank you.
Not allowed to say something again.
I don't know. As long as everyone else had a chance first, I guess. Anyone else want to talk? Okay, I'll let you, but just don't repeat anything that you've already talked about. Okay.
One request I have is I'd like to see a quarterly update of the budget posted to the Gladstone website so that we know what's going on. And I think that's prepared probably internally. It would be nice to have that out there so the public can see where we're going on some of these expenses. Then secondly, as long as you're moving forward to look at budgeting and things, that what came to my attention this year when I talked to Nicole is that we had 28 summer help this year, and it was brought to my attention by a number of neighbors and friends that there were a considerable number on that were not Gladstone residents. So I wonder how many individuals serve on the hiring committee and what the criteria are to evaluate those candidates. So I think that needs to be looked at.
All right, thank you. All right, next is city commissioner comments. Commissioner O'Connor.
All right. Well, I just want to say, indeed, we do have lots of holes. We need to plug them up. Right now, as you probably know, our tax funds that we receive each year is about $1.2 million. Our MERS payment, if we paid it off right now, is about $6 million. So that means it would take all of our tax dollars for 5 years to pay this hole. So we definitely want to plug everything we can as far as sports park, anything that we can. And that's why I'm asking that we have a 5-year budget so that we can look at where we're going this year and then the next year is how are we going to address this. And I'd like all of you to help as much as you can as far as comments, because everything you tell us actually helps to see where we should be going. What do the residents of Gladstone want as far as the sports park, as far as the ski hill, at the beach? All those things are very important because it's our town. That's all I have.
All right, Commissioner Phelan.
I'm in agreement with Mike. I think it's vital that you people come here and state your mind, say your piece. We can't read your mind. We don't know what you're thinking if you don't come and tell us. I think this last election showed everybody the town people have spoke. They're tired of what's going on, and that's why you see new guys up here right now. This is probably the newest board you've had here in a long, long time. I mean, without returning members, other than Jay, all of us are new this year, within the last 6 months. And, the little bit I have got to talk to these guys, I think we're all gonna definitely work in the direction you guys are asking us to go. And I think we can get over these humps we've got We just gotta do some smart budgeting.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Thompson.
I'd just like to say welcome to the new commissioners and I look forward to working with both of you, and
Thank you for the free coffee.
that's all I got.
All right, Commissioner View.
First off, I want to thank Commissioner Gay for his service. I know he was kind of brass sometimes, but he was very articulate and right to the point on everything he did, and he knew a lot. And I did get some great information for him on the budget and stuff like that, so I want to thank him for his service on the commission. I want to welcome the two new commissioners, Mike, and Dave, as he ran. And for the other two citizens that ran for the commission, Dewey Nelson and Kenny Levine. It makes it very democratic to have all these people involved in our city government and wanting to participate in it. With that being said, I had about 5 things I wanted to talk about. One of the things that, and a 6th thing that just come up tonight, I don't like not being able to discuss public comment. And I understand why we can't. Because then we get accusations at us that we don't do nothing about it or things like that. And I think every one of our commissioners and all the commissioners in the past want to look into that. So is there some way that we can put this on our agenda for us to discuss or have some type of meeting somewhere down the line to look at what some of these citizens are talking about? If he's been waiting 10 years, I feel bad. 10 years is an awful long time to come back here and say the same thing over and over. I mean, what's the process that we can apply that and see what is right for that?
I would recommend you wait for your December 7th training, and you will find out the do's and don'ts and the best practices for that as well on how to handle that.
But can't we handle it in-house? Can't we do something like I was just thinking that maybe once every 5 meetings, we come an hour early, off the record, where we're not recorded. You inform the public, it's whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you want to call it an open discussion with all the commissioners, where we can just sit here and be able to have open dialogue with them, and not to make any decisions or anything, but just to prioritize what the citizens want. Why is that against the law? Especially if you publicize it. Who are we serving here? I'm just saying, I would love to.
There is a process, and there is a way you can do that. I, again, would encourage you to go through the training first.
Well, I've been to some trainings, and they haven't really addressed.
And I know the public gets frustrated sometimes, but sometimes
I
a
do
question's
too.
easy. Can the public attend training? Sure. A question about why is there not a crosswalk, it's a little more complicated. A question about why are we not doing 6 different things in the budget, I don't know if you guys have all the answers to answer that right now, and you can end up into a debate, and there's lots of information thrown back and forth. So there's reasons you want to have the facts in front of you, be prepared to comment on that, to be able to answer their questions knowledgeably, have all the facts. I don't know that anybody's prepared necessarily to answer all those questions this evening. So, having a separate meeting where you do that, but if you have an open meeting and they come and ask you a question, if you don't have all that prepared, it's still going to end up to be,
Well, no.
I don't have the answer.
Well, Kim, what I was thinking of, it's just an open discussion. We're not going to answer any questions, but we're going to get the feel of what these people really want.
And how is that different than public comment right now?
Because
you can.
he made his public comment, and he's done this before, and I've been here for 13 weeks, or 13 meetings now, and he's said the same thing before. And I've never seen anything in my
Okay.
packet.
Have you ever made a motion to put it on the agenda or to have a discussion?
Well, that's what I'm doing now. I'm asking, that when these people talk, can we just automatically do that? And then once every 5 or 6 meetings, put all that stuff together, have these people come and let's do it. Just automatically do it. That's what if we have to put it on the agenda, then I will start saying all these public comment stuff. I'll start.
Yep, and I ask that you listen to the MML training to figure out the best way to do that. There's a process for it.
So we don't know the best way?
I know the best way, but I'm not on the commission, so I could give you a recommendation, but
Well, I
of
would
some
just
do's
like
and
all the
don'ts, but-
commissioners to think about that for the next meeting and see see if we can come up ourselves with a way of really addressing the issues these people have. And just them talking 3 minutes ain't gonna give it to us. You know, because we need both sides of the story. But to get a little more in depth, it's kind of like mediation or stuff like that. There's two sides to every story, but I
Absolutely.
have heard that comment before, and now I'm starting to get a little bit. We need to put it on, when he talks, when we get done, we say, we'd like that put on the agenda, get a hold of the mayor or something, but then we need the background stuff for it and everything too.
Absolutely.
But see, a lot of that stuff I'd like to be able to do without doing at a commission meeting, because they get too long. I guess I'm just frustrated that way myself, just like they get frustrated. I feel bad for them, but. Okay, well, that was something I wasn't even gonna bring up, but I thought I would. The other thing is, we have, like Darla said, a DDA meeting tomorrow, but through the DDA, we have a Grow Gladstone series. They're looking to get some of their information out. He emailed me and I told him I'd bring it up at the meeting tonight in case anyone watches wherever this is being recorded and played at. But the next presentation is on the Grow Gladstone series is for businesses in the area to come there and it's free. It's at the DDA building. Is it at 8 o'clock? 8 o'clock. The next one is by Tom Philman from Bay Bank. So I got to kind of figure it's about financing and loans and stuff like that, and it's free. And I think they even have coffee and a donut for you, and it's lasts 1 hour, 8 to 9, November 24th. Still during hunting season, but those that run businesses don't take the whole 2 weeks off. So maybe you can make it there. And I told them I'd plug that tonight for the DDA. Okay, the other thing, Gladstone Little League. I want to get this out. They're going to have a 16-team tournament, 2017. So, if you know, I'm pretty positive Gladstone's going to be here in 2017. It's still going to be called Gladstone. It's a major boys Little League state tournament. I'd like to just get it out there for people. That's 16 teams. They're looking for events to do at that time. So anyone in the public that has things they can do, horseback riding, I don't know if we go swimming or whatever, if we can come up with some real good events from these people coming from downstate. It's one of the biggest tournaments in the state of Michigan, and it's Major Little League, and it's coming here. I'm pretty proud to be able to have that in our area at the sports park. The other thing is the Gladstone Little League Board, I was at their meeting the other night. They decided to pay for a warranty on the lights. I think it's the Don Olson Field has the Musco lighting on it. They help out the city in this area by paying $3,500 for an additional 10-year warranty on the lights that covers all the maintenance, replacing of the bulbs and everything. So I just want the public to know that that entity, which is our citizens, is doing a lot up there to save the city cost. The lights are expensive, and actually the residents use it and some of the townships. They talked about the sports park, the new concession. They'd like to have some say in it. I told them maybe Nicole get a hold of them or something, because they put a lot of sweat equity up there in many hours, and they figured they got close to $1 million of their own time, sweat equity, and volunteers and money spent up there for the benefit of all the citizens of Gladstone, which is the city. So they've done quite a bit up there. All right, I have some community comments here. I hate to say too much, but I get bombarded by a lot of stuff, and a lot of people keep talking to me. This has to do with the electrical deposit policy for non-property owners. I think to have more merit-based with the return of the deposit after a period of time, where the customers show the ability to pay over a period of time, like 12 months. I've had 5 people in the last month say that they do not want their deposit held till they are deceased. And that's what our Gladstone policy is. And I don't know the other side yet. My first month here, I asked about the policy. I asked to have a meeting about it with the electrical department. I guess they only meet so often, but it got pushed under the table somehow where it might not have been important, but to these people, some of the little things are important to them, and I'm on the commission, and they live in the city or they live outside the city, they have city utilities, and all I'm asking for is that the electrical deposit, well, put it this way, if I gotta get it on the agenda, I move that we have a copy of the electrical policy on deposits in the commissioner's package for November 23rd, 2015, and then review and discuss the electrical policy on deposits at the December 6, 2015 commission meeting. I just want to get it out in the open, and then that issue will be dead once the commissioner looks at it and decides on it. So I'll repeat that. I move that we have the electrical policy on the deposit in the commission package for November 23rd, 2015, then review and discuss that for the December 6, 2015 commission meeting, just so we can be all on the same page and I can tell these people, this is what we did, this is what we looked at. So that's my motion.
At this point, you technically shouldn't be doing, motions. You can request it to be the mayor and the
Okay,
manager
well,
put it
all
on
right,
the
well,
agenda. So we'll
correct
just do
me.
it as a recommendation, to the mayor and the manager to have that on the agenda.
Okay, I'm
Typically
recommending
under
it right
discussion,
now.
you don't know that.
Okay.
So.
Well, I
just
think
to
it's
be-
important for these people that
Sure.
are getting a hold of me and I can't get answers, so I'd like the whole commission to take a look at it and see where we are in line with everything. And we're gonna need, a whole month to look at it. We can do our research, and I think that would be the best way to handle a lot of this stuff. So hopefully that, we can put that issue to rest and we get something fair for everybody involved. The other thing, off-road sports repair, a new business over kitty corner from City Hall. I think it's Dan Brown had his grand opening on Saturday. I went there. You missed a lot of, it was a full meal there. He had a full meal and a lot of drawings on stuff. I didn't win nothing, but that's okay. It was enjoyable to see another business start up, and I just like the citizens to realize that he's gonna need your support to stay here. He fixes all kinds of small equipment and stuff like that. Can I go on a little bit more? All right. DDA, Gus Macker. Next year, put it on your calendar, June 10th, 11th, and 12th. I want to get it out there early. The week after is the Crazy Day Car Show, Saturday, June 18th. I hope we can get that on some other community calendars, chamber calendars, stuff like that. Usually it seems to be left out of some of the calendars, but I want to mention it here today so the public can start planning for that. We hope that's a big event for our businesses and families down in Gladstone. I don't know if I'll go through all the rest of this. Got other meetings. The only other thing that I think is real important, and I'd like to recommend that the mayor put this on an agenda too, since I can't move to put it on an agenda. I want a council policy manual. We got 4 new commissioners. The purposes of a manual would be to, and I've checked with other cities, they do have complete manuals of everything the city has. And I have a whole list of stuff that should be in there, but I'd like to get it on the docket, I don't care when, where we continually upgrading what that manual will have for new commissioners. It's a template that will help us develop and for the new and existing commissioners, and so that the commissioners can effectively carry out their duties we're elected to perform. I started mine right here. I'm missing about 20 things right now that I wish I had in here to keep me knowledgeable of what's going on. And the worst part of it is there's stuff that I probably should know about that I don't even know exist until other commissioners tell me, or people on the street, what about this? Well, I made a slot for it, I just haven't asked for it yet. But I think, and I know it's ever changing, I asked for this like 3-4 months ago, but every time we get a commission package on something and you have rules of procedure, you print a new one out anyways. So we can have a version of it and just keeping our policy book up to date, for commissioners. But I think if the commissioner had what I had here right now, they'd be off and running and no more than me, because I'm hard to comprehend stuff. And I know some of these seem pretty good at comprehending. But somehow I think all of us commissioners should be discussing, what we think would be important for us to have. Other than that, I think I better not talk about the rest. I cut it off.
All right, thank you. I would just like to congratulate Commissioner O'Connor and Commissioner Phelan and welcome them to the board. I also want to thank former Commissioner Nemechek and Commissioner Gay for their service. And that's all I have. So next is city clerk comments.
The election, the actual process of running it went well. Gladstone didn't have any problems. I'd like to thank the workers. I had some great workers and several students, which was fun to have. And I'll have them for a little bit until they go off to college. So they did really well. I think we responded. Our output as far as the results went into the county quickly. So I was pleased with that end of the election and how it went. And that's all I have. I just wrapped that up. So that's all I've been working on. So I don't have anything else to update.
All right, well, now we will go into, we need to have a vote to go into executive session to discuss Attorney Don Bacon letter.
I move we go into executive session to discuss Attorney Don Bacon's letter dated 11/5/2015.
I'll support.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner View, support by Commissioner Thompson. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say, oh yeah, that's right.
Commissioner O'Connor,
Yes.
Commissioner Phelan,
Yes.
Commissioner Thompson,
Yes.
Commissioner View,
Yes.
Mayor Bostwick.
Yes. All right, we are now in executive session.